What's going on, homies? My name is John Solo, and today I'm bringing you guys the first episode of what may be a new series if you guys enjoy it. With The Force Awakens coming out at the end of last year and Disney and Lucasfilm making the majority of the expanded universe no longer canon, there's a lot for Star Wars fans, both new and old, to learn about. For example, I have been a massive Star Wars fan for literally as long as I can remember, as in there is not a single moment of my entire life that I can recall not having seen Star Wars. But because I haven't read every single comic book and novel about the expanded universe or seen every single episode of Star Wars Rebels or the Clone Wars, I get a bantha load of comments from people telling me that I am a fake or new Star Wars fan, which I think all reasonable people can agree is stupid. Like, you're right, all of these decorations that I bought, this shirt, this pillow, this blanket that my sister made me, all for show. I actually have never even seen Star Wars. I'm lying so hard to you guys. I know there are others like me who are totally obsessed with Star Wars but just haven't had the time or the drive to indulge in much outside of the movies. So here's where the purpose of this series comes in. Think of it as an introduction to the Star Wars universe, or as a university would put it, SWU 101. Every few weeks we're going to be discussing a new subject. Sometimes it's going to be planets, sometimes it's going to be characters, sometimes it's going to be artifacts or objects like Luke and Anakin's lightsaber. In the spirit of The Force Awakens release, I thought it would be cool to talk about one of the more interesting characters that was introduced to us in the newest episode, Maz Kanata. In the visual dictionary for The Force Awakens, which is canon for those of you who aren't aware, Maz Kanata is referred to as a pirate legend. This essentially means that she is a famous, or depending on how you want to look at it, infamous smuggler. Her species is currently unknown, but Maz is a little bit over 4 foot tall, has brown eyes, and is over 1,000 years old. One of her secrets to living so long, in addition to her species, whatever it is, just having a naturally long lifespan, is a secret affinity with the Force, which she uses to keep herself out of trouble. This affinity is also one of the reasons that she was such a successful smuggler. Interestingly, during the decades of the Empire's rule, Maz kept her connection to the Force hidden under wraps. It wasn't until the Emperor was killed that she started to openly acknowledge her abilities once more. Maz is described as an acquired taste by those who know her best. She's wise, eccentric, and sort of annoying, but apparently aligning yourself with her, especially if you're a smuggler, is a good decision. According to the visual dictionary, she's gotten many young smugglers started in the freebooting trade, and I find this to be one of the more interesting aspects of Maz's life. I'll read you guys a quote directly off of the official Star Wars databank. She has given many a young smuggler a start by offering credits, equipment, or connections, and helped many an old friend rediscover a lost path. I personally believe that this quote is somehow directly related to Han Solo, whether she helped him get started as a smuggler or she helped him get back into the trade, or even both, I'm not quite sure, but hopefully those questions will be answered in the Han Solo spin-off coming out in a couple years. In addition to Han Solo and our boy Chewbacca and Rey and Finn, Maz has had some run-ins with other notable Star Wars characters as well, including Yoda. She's also got a couple of tall tales involving Jedi Knights and Jedi Masters. One of those masters in particular is a man named Shurf Maoda. We don't know anything about him yet, but Maz has a statue bust of him sitting in her castle on Takodana. The bust is also specifically mentioned in the novelization of The Force Awakens, so I imagine that at some point the character has got to have some significance. As you can presume by her possession of the bust, and if you've seen the movie Her Curio Box, Maz is a collector of ancient artifacts. In that box is where Rey finds Anakin and Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber, but also inside it are a few other items of questionable value. The box contains a fusion cutter head, a diacium power core, and a 4,000-year-old hyperspace sextant. Like I said, the value of these items is questionable. The reason behind Maz collecting them lies within her old age. Throughout her 1,000+ years of life, Maz has seen the balance of power shift from the light side of the Force to the dark side back and forth over and over again. She believes that relics from the past will someday make a difference in the future. This obviously ends up being true as Rey ends up with Luke and Anakin's old lightsaber. There are a few theories theories out there with how exactly Maz came into possession of Luke's lightsaber, but there is actually one canon explanation, though the details are still a little bit fuzzy. Maz actually used her Force affinity to seek out the weapon, and she obtained it from a third party who collected it from the surface of Bespin. So like I said, the details are still a little bit fuzzy, but she actually went out looking for the weapon herself. And that, homies, is all we know about Maz Kanata. There's quite a bit of information out there about her castle on Takodana and those who live in it, but we'll save that for another episode. Now it's time for you guys to vote. I have 4 subjects appearing on screen right now that can be possible subjects for the next episode of SWU 101. I want you to comment your vote down below. Each individual comment will count as a vote towards that subject, and I'm also going to have a poll going on my Facebook fan page where you can vote as well. So that means if you really want to hear me talk about a subject, you can vote for it twice and increase your odds. In addition to voting, remember to tell me what you thought of the video and hit that like button down below. Don't forget to share this video with all of your fellow Star Wars nerds and hit that subscribe button for weekly Star Wars content. I've got links in the description down below to my Facebook, like I said before, but also my Instagram and Twitter. And just like always, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by today and supporting me in all of the wonderful ways that you do. In case you forgot, my name is John Solo, and I'll see you next time.